Great. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Today, we're going to be talking about mindfulness meditation, and we'll talk about it a little bit, and then we'll do a short session, sort of a teaser session, and then we'll talk. We can have a little time for question and answer. The title of today's talk, I've titled it "Why Meditate." Um, I've found that meditation's been really helpful to me. Um, does everybody hear me? I'm not this. Well, I have it on speaker view, and it's not me. It's you, Choni. I don't know why.
Yes, we can
Can
hear. We
anybody
can
chat
hear.
and tell me if you hear me?
Yes, La, we can hear.
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
For some reason, the view is funny. That's okay. Um, so, yeah, I had it on. It's on speaker view,
Speaker view.
but I'm speaking and it's not showing. But that's okay. Um, basically, meditation is okay. It's on your computer. Okay, meditation is a coming home. It's coming home to yourself, and it's coming home to your true nature. And we spend most of our time lost. We're lost in our heads, in our thoughts, in our beliefs. It's like we have a movie running inside our heads all the time, and we live in that virtual reality. And that is made up of things in the past, dwelling on past grievances, something somebody said to you yesterday, something that happened. It's future planning and thinking about what's coming up, planning and wishing for something in the future. And when we're thinking about now, it's often a judging and comparing mind. How do we compare to other people? Is our car the same size? Do they have a better car? Do they have a better job? Do they have nicer clothes? We're always comparing and judging. This is good enough. It's not good enough. We're not just with the moment. We're also often spending a lot of time anticipating the expectations of others. What are other people thinking of me? If I do this, will they like me? If I do this, will I get in trouble? And then we get triggered in our emotions. So something happens and we have a flood of fear and anxiety and worry, or maybe anger, or maybe grief and loss. Things we're thrown to the winds by these emotions. And a lot of negative self-talk. We spend a lot of time saying, oh, you should have done this. Oh, if only I thought of that. Only if I was smarter. And sometimes we get lost in overwhelm. There's just so much to do, I can't do it. And we spin thinking about the overwhelm instead of just doing it. So these are just examples of where we spend most of our time. And with meditation, we can discover that we are more than that. That is not the sum total of who we are. And we can become more in touch with an awareness of an inner presence. And it's a widening of our sense of self. Instead of this small identity and thinking, we are much bigger. So when I say inner presence, I know, what does that mean? And it's something that you really need to experience. I can't tell you what it is, but it's often described as a sense, a felt sense of an inner knowing, knowing that I am and I am whole. And it's a sense of spaciousness. We're not limited by our identities and emotions. And when we spend more of our time and we're more aware of this inner presence, we begin to notice that we can get in contact with a natural warmth and a joy of being that is our inherent true nature. We have a natural generosity of spirit. Loving kindness is our natural state. Compassion is our natural state. But we get lost in this other thinking instead. But that natural presence is always there. It's not like we have to go find it, we have to create it, we have to get better at it. It's there. We have to uncover it. And that's what meditation is about. Meditation is a portal into that inner presence by focusing on the present moment, being fully here and now with what is actually happening. We become less disconnected from our true nature, and we're able to access that wider sense of being. And when we can connect to that presence, that when we can know our natural great awareness, it's actually liberating, because then we don't have to believe that we don't have to believe all our thoughts, and our thoughts now become our servants instead of our masters. We need our thought. We use our thought. But when we're lost in thought and it's driving everything we do, and it's repetitive thought of how bad we are or how worried we are or overwhelmed we are, then then the thoughts are our master. We're not using our thoughts, they're controlling us. And as we become we spend more of our time in presence, we're more aware of that awareness. We become more at home with ourselves and with other people. We're more comfortable in our own skin. We become more loving, easier to forgive people, and we can access our creativity. We can bring more attention to the activities that we're doing, like our work or our hobbies. We can bring more attention to them. So, and it also means that when we have a crisis, as what these happen all the time, right? You're doing all your work and you've worked for hours on a project and your computer crashes, or somebody says something not very nice to you, or your kid throws a temper tantrum. What do? And when you are more in touch with this presence, you can take a pause in the middle of a crisis. And when you can pause in mindfulness, then you can access that inner space, that place of more wisdom and clarity, and you can respond to the situation in a more wise and calm way instead of lost in your habitual patterns. So it's through mindfulness meditation that we practice this. We need to learn to turn toward that sense of inner presence, that inner space. And through meditation, we're training our mind to focus more on the moment as it is right now, without judgment, with great compassion, not trying to make the moment what we want it to be or what we think it should be, but just being with what is. And that becomes a doorway into that presence, and it changes how we relate to experience. We can't change our experience, but we can change how we relate to our experience. Pema Chodron has a great story about, she uses a prayer flag metaphor for this. So she has a center in Nova Scotia, which is on the Atlantic Ocean on a cliff, and it's really rough weather there, and the wind is just whipping off the ocean. And she was looking at the prayer flags, and she said, there's a pole and then there's the flag, and she's seeing these prayer flags, they're getting shredded in the wind. I mean, it's just ripping them to pieces really fast. And she said, it's just like our experience. Winds are coming all the time. These are the things that are happening to us. And we can be like that prayer flag and be flapping in the wind completely without any ability to do anything about it. We're at the mercy of the wind, and we're shredded. We're torn apart by all of this. Or we can be the flagpole. And the pole is staying steady. That's our place of inner presence. That's our place of inner awareness and our wisdom. And when things are happening with the flags, we can stay solid and be able to weather the storm much better. So I just want to take one moment to just say, meditation is a powerful tool. It's an ancient tool. What's amazing is that these guys figured this out thousands of years ago, and the Buddha and whatever. But when we look at it from a science point of view, people have now been able to measure the effects of meditation, and it really does reduce stress. And there's plenty of studies that people who meditate say they have less stress than people who don't meditate. But also, they're able to measure the stress hormones in the bloodstream of people who meditate. And things like cortisol, which is the main stress hormone, have lower levels in people who meditate than people who don't meditate. So there's several studies on all the different aspects of stress reduction, but they all point in the same direction. Mindfulness meditation, even 20 minutes a day, makes a big difference. It also changes your brain. People have looked with brain imagery like MRIs, and they're able to see that some of the areas of the brain that are associated with strong emotional reactions, so the amygdala, it's a very ancient, old part of our brain, that's the one where something happens and you just fly off in rage. That's smaller in meditators. And the areas of the brain that are associated with higher functions are larger in meditators. So they're actually able to see this, and this is part of neuroplasticity. Our brains are changing, and the more you use some pathways, the stronger those pathways get. More neurons get put in those pathways, and they run faster. It's like going to the gym and working on your muscle. The more you do it, the stronger the muscle get, more muscle fibers happen, and you get stronger. Same thing with pathways in your brain. If you keep running negative tracks about how awful everything is, that's what's more, that's what runs faster and easier. That becomes your default. And the more you turn your mind to more positive ways of thinking and awareness, those pathways get strengthened. So that's the other thing we're doing with meditation. And there's even some research that some of the markers of aging are healthier in people who meditate, like the telomeres on the end of the DNA, that meditators actually look better at any given age than non-meditators. So there's many, many benefits that have been shown by science. There's many benefits that have been said by the spiritual teachers, but we can tap into all of that and be able to improve our lives. So it's really, don't take it from me. You need to experience it for yourself. So what we thought we'd do now is just a short mindfulness meditation, like 10 or 15 minutes, just very short. You can do it in your chair. And let's try that, and then we'll have a few moments, a little bit of time left over for question and answer. Okay, so the meditation we're going to do is a meditation of awareness of the body and the senses. And this is a natural entry into presence. So take a moment to sit comfortably. You want to be upright with your spine straight, not slumped in the chair. But we're not doing this cross-legged on a cushion. We can do this in the chair. So just sitting in a place where you're fine for the next 10 or 15 minutes, and just close your eyes and start by simply connecting with your intention to come home to presence. And let your attitude be friendly, relaxed, and curious. We're not trying to accomplish anything here. We're just looking to see, what is it? And we'll begin by taking 3 conscious breaths. So inhale slowly and completely, filling the lungs. And then exhale slowly, letting go of any tension in your body and mind. Again, inhale deeply, filling the body and lungs. And slowly and consciously exhale, letting go. Once more, a nice full in-breath, and holding the breath this time for a moment once you're full, and then feel the holding, the stretch of the chest, and then a gentle out breath, letting go, just letting go. And letting the breath resume its natural rhythm. Invite your awareness into your body by gently scanning with your attention, noticing any places of tension, tightness, and see if it's possible to bring a soft attention to those areas. And see if you can just allow them to relax and open naturally. Consciously relaxing the face, softening the eyes, letting the jaw relax. Maybe your mouth is slightly open. And allowing your lips to smile just a little, the half smile of the Buddha. And letting the scan continue down, and paying particular attention to your shoulders. See if you can feel them from the inside out. You might sense a kind of dissolving, a melting, ice to water, and then water to gas. Just letting go. Feeling the arms from the inside out. Feeling into the space inside the arms. Softening your hands. Letting them rest in an easy and effortless way. Noticing the sensations in your hands. Maybe tingling or vibration, warmth or coolness. Or maybe you don't feel anything at all, just noticing whatever is there without judging or changing it. And bringing your attention to the chest, letting it be relaxed and open, softening the belly, and letting this next breath be received in a soft belly. This breath, and then this one, and again. And continuing to scan down the body, feeling the hips, the buttocks, the legs. Just noticing and relaxing any muscles that are tight. And feeling down into the feet, feeling the feet from the inside out. And noticing any sensations that arise. Now, invite your awareness to feel your whole body. Imagining your physical form as a field of sensations. Feeling the movement and quality of sensations throughout your body. Maybe areas of tingling or vibrating. Warmth or coolness. Hard or soft areas. Places that are tight or flowing. Just noticing whatever is there. Can you feel a sense of aliveness in your body? Feeling into that. And just take a few moments to bring your full attention to the dance of sensations. And now let your awareness open out to the space around you, paying attention to the sounds in the environment. Letting the sounds wash through you. Imagine yourself receiving the full symphony of sound. Listening not just with your ears, but your whole awareness. And as you sit quietly, you might also notice different thoughts and feelings arising. Let them pass through as easily as the sounds, flowing like waves in the ocean, and gently return your attention to the sounds in the environment. And there's no need to label or judge or categorize the sounds or the thoughts. Simply be present with them and let them flow through you unhindered. Take a few moments now to bring an open attention, receptivity to listening to sounds. And keeping your eyes closed, let your awareness also receive the play of image and light at the eyelids. You might notice a flickering of light and dark, certain shapes, shadows, or figures of light. Bring in an attitude of curiosity and acceptance. Take a few moments to attend to seeing. And feeling your breath and sensing the space around you, be receptive to any scents that might be in the air. And take a few moments to smell and receive the odors present in the area around you. And now let all your senses be wide open, your body and mind relaxed and receptive, and allow life to flow freely through you. wide open, listening to and feeling your moment to moment experience. Notice the changing flow of sounds and sensations. Feeling into your aliveness. And notice also the background of presence that is here. Notice the one who is experiencing, the one who is aware. And let yourself appreciate this awake inner space of presence. Let your mind and heart be open and spacious, resting in this openness. And before we end this meditation, take a moment to imagine yourself bringing this alert, open awareness to whatever it is that you're doing next. Picture that in your mind. And then, as always, we dedicate the merit, or we make the intention that our meditation is not just for ourselves, it's also for others. So may whatever sense of presence and connection felt in this practice not only benefit myself, but may it also be of benefit to others. So whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes, come back into this space. And that was a very short taste of what's called the body scan, as a way to connect with the present moment and that inner sense of spaciousness and awareness. And as we do this, we need to get into a habit and a practice of regular meditation. Is difficult because there's always something else to do. So that's where we came up with the idea to offer a guided meditation twice a week, just a 20-minute meditation, easy and short, but to set the tone for the day. And we'll also be recording them so you can use them if there's any that you particularly like on the days that we're not having the meditation or if you miss it. And we'll see how that goes. But the way to get into a habit is to have the support of other people. And also, I find guided meditations are much easier than trying to do it quietly by yourself, because it brings your focus back to the meditation itself. So when you're off in your movie, remembering something or thinking about what you need to do tomorrow, the person guiding brings you back, and it's much easier.